The passage I chose for today is a very much themed around journey. It's a journey of discovery, and it's also a journey that starts by going one way and then changes direction at the end. To be honest, it sounds very much like a car journey with me, and we often take what I call the scenic route on our way to a destination. However, on this occasion, the direction changes because of an encounter which we will explore shortly. We read in Luke of the walking journey of a couple of disciples. Now, it's supposed by scholars that this was actually a married couple who'd been following Jesus. We know the name of one, and that's Cleopas, and his wife was likely to be named Mary. Cleopas is mentioned elsewhere in the scriptures, so it sort of makes sense that that's who he was. Now, they are heading to Emmaus after what would have been one roller coaster of an experience. Emmaus is probably home for them, and so they seem to be heading away, back to normality. How desperate are we just now for that? The husband and wife are walking along this 7-mile road, talking about all that had gone on. I know that for many husbands and wives like Sam and I, when we have experienced something together that has perhaps engaged the emotions and has been intense, the conversation walking down that road would have been deep, perhaps unfiltered, raw, with emotions and disappointments. There probably was exhaustion. The walk, perhaps a slow, tired walk into a home of normality, but with dampened hopes and dashed dreams. Listening to their conversation would have not been an easy one to listen to. Yet, Jesus walks along beside them, ready to engage, ready to listen, even to their disappointments, their hurt, their loss of hope in Him. Did you know that God is interested in listening to everything that is on your heart? Your deepest disappointments, even your anger. Even if it's directed at Him, He's interested. And you know what? He's ready to engage. He's ready to engage in our disappointments and our darkest moments. You know, Jesus walks beside the couple, yet they don't recognise Him. I wonder what stopped them from seeing Him. Perhaps it was because He was the last person they expected to see alive. But perhaps it was deeper. I wonder what stops us from seeing Jesus, from recognising Him in our midst. Perhaps it's our emotions, it's our experiences, it's our false expectations. But whatever it was, as these disciples walked, they just could not see that Jesus was with them. I wonder how many of us now in these days are walking the road of disappointment and frustration and finding it very difficult to see that Jesus is walking alongside us. I know that there are many days I feel as if it were more His absence than His presence. For this walking couple, it was, I think, their expectations, their hopes that had been dashed. They kept them from recognising that Jesus was with them. They were living with their old hopes and dreams, walking back to their past, to that moment before they had met Jesus, before He had got their hopes up. You know, the words they speak, the past tense they use, all point to where their minds were on this journey. We had hoped. He was a prophet. They're even reluctant to use the word Messiah or Saviour anymore. And I wonder how often we live in the past with old hopes and dreams. They hold us back for so much more we could hope to discover. You know, the disciples did not understand how God had planned to rescue the people from tyranny. So Jesus' death was a surprise. It was heartbreaking, hope-dashing, life-shattering. Even hearing the news that Jesus was alive was not enough to encourage them or change their thoughts. The two even say the women came and told them of the news and told them that Jesus was alive, yet they had already made their minds up. That was it. They were heading home. How often do we fail to hear the good news in the midst of all the rubbish and the darkness that's going on? I know that the lockdown and its many hardships means we often don't hear the words of hope. But the story of the journeying couple gives us some pointers to how we can hope. How we can hope in our current situation. Although they did not recognise the man, they recognised his actions. They recognised his signature, if you like. I would suggest that in and around us, we are still able to see his signature. Consider the rainbows that are appearing in windows. His signature promise in light and colour that gave the clear promise. You will not be overcome again. And now they're being used to unite a community so that together we are not overcome. You know, we can see his spirit moving. We can see the hope and the light being shone, even on what is a long road. With a destination that is unclear even now. Yet here we see Jesus. And as we walk, he's with us. My prayer is that we won't be overcome so much by what is happening to us that we miss the very fact that God is in our midst, working to bring hope, working to journey with us as a source of strength and guidance. When the couple witnessed Jesus, they saw his signature move, they knew that they could not continue the original journey. They just couldn't go back home to what they had once called normality. No one, after meeting with God, can continue on the old journey. My prayer for you in these days is that you will spot God's signatures written throughout our path. The signatures of hope, light, joy, peace and strength. Give thanks with a grateful heart. Give thanks to the Holy One. Give thanks because he's given Jesus Christ, his Son.